Okay guys, the beans are cooked. They're looking pretty good. They're good and thick, and they're good and cooked all the way through. I cooked them for, I don't know, I turned the heat way down on them and cooked them for almost 2 days on really low heat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put them into the blender here. So let me get my camera set up here. And I've let them cool down a little bit as well. So what we've got in here is one of the larger bags of pinto beans. I've got, I think, 5 or 6 slices of bacon in here that I chopped up. And I've got 2 small onions, or 1 medium onion, and a clove of garlic. So now I'm going to fill them up about that full or so in my blender. Wipe the top here. Blender stand, and you have to excuse the noise. We're going to tear it up here. You can stop every once in a while, give them a little bit of a stir here. And now that you can see how it looks, that's about the right consistency that we want. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get a big old skillet and get it started heating up. And I'll be right back with you when my skillet gets hot. Alright. Skillet is heated up, so now I'm going to pour in the bean mush or paste. And we're going to stir them, keep stirring them. I've just put a little bit of butter in the bottom of the skillet here. And we just, exactly like the name says, we fry up this bean paste. Or my kids like to call it fart paste. I don't necessarily approve, but it is kind of fun. Fry it up. I'm going to add a little bit more salt. Just going to sprinkle a little bit more salt on the top. You can just add your salt to taste. We're going to let this fry up until it thickens up a little bit. You want to really be careful because you see how it's bubbling up like that. Sometimes it'll bubble up and splat out a little piece that'll stick to your hand and it will burn you. Keep moving it around so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. So I'm going to fry these up for a little bit longer, and I will be back here with you directly when we get to the finished product. Okay guys, see they're starting to thicken up a little bit. They are now pretty much fried. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat off, and we're going to move it to the side, and we're going to let it cool completely down. And as it cools, it's going to thicken up a lot more. And then we are going to put it back onto the burner Well, I'll show you. But right now we've got them fried once. They're good and getting kind of thick, so we're going to set it to the side and let it cool down. So once it's cool, I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, the beans have cooled down. You see how they're nice and pasty? That's what you want. What we have right now is fried beans, but we want refried beans. So we're going to move the skillet back onto the burner, put it back on about medium-high, and we're going to refry them again. Now they are very thick, so to loosen them up a little bit, so that you can move it around and refry it, I'm going to add just a little bit of milk. What is that? I don't know, 1/8 of a cup maybe? I don't know how much that is. A couple tablespoons, 1/8 of a cup, not quite 1/4 of a cup. Like I say, this is just a guide. You guys can, whenever you make them, do them to your taste. And if you want them a little bit more loose, then add a little bit more milk. Don't add so much milk if you want them, a little more sticky. I use milk because it keeps them creamy, and that's what we want. So I'm going to get my milk all mixed in here. Make them nice and creamy. I'm going to let them start frying up again. The more milk you add, you might want to give it a taste, because if you add too much milk, you need to add a little bit more salt and pepper if you'd like pepper. I try not to add too much more than what's already in here, the bacon and the onions and the garlic. I like to have the bean flavor a lot, so. Out of here, fly. You want to make sure you have about 350 flies in your kitchen. Get out of here, fly. Look at that. They're everywhere. Okay, I'm going to let these fry up a little bit more. I got my milk all mixed in, and it'll take probably another 5 minutes or so for my burner to get good and hot. These things will start frying, and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty. Now we're refrying them here. You'll see it starts bubbling up, and they'll start bubbling and carrying on again. You want to keep moving them around and frying them so they don't stick and scorch. And I will fry them until around the edge right here, around the edge of your skillet, you don't see anything that's shiny. You don't want the beans to be shiny. You want them fried all the way through. They may be shiny here in the middle when you're stirring it up, but if you move some stuff to the side and you see after it sits for a little bit that it starts looking dull and you don't see the light shining off of it anymore, then they're getting really close to being ready. And now they look kind of loose, but as you let them cool off, they will thicken up a lot, and they will be very, very tasty. I would say that these are just about done. Still see a little bit of shininess over here, so I'm going to let them just cook just a little bit longer. Move them around. Let them cook all the way through. Let them fry real good. Now that I've stirred it, I'm watching around the edge here to see if the dullness, and it starts looking dull and not shiny anymore. And it looks to me like they are done. So now I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to set them to the side and let them cool down a little bit. And these will be ready to serve up whenever you like. Probably in the morning I will make some scrambled eggs and put some of these beans on a tortilla, throw some scrambled eggs on there, a little bit of Tabasco sauce, and kind of have, you know, some sort of breakfast burrito type thing. But we use them mainly as a side dish, and probably some of this is going to be canned. I will pressure can it just like I do when I start pulling some stuff out of my garden. I will pressure can this. I have a couple of pint jars here that whenever these have cooled down, I will put these into my pint canning jars, and I will can them just like I do any other vegetable, green beans and stuff like that. So I'll pressure can them, and that way they can be preserved, and you put them on the shelf and have them for a long time, and crack them open as you need them. So hopefully I will get about maybe 2 pints out of this batch with a little bit left over, and I will do this again sometime in the near future, and I can add those refried beans to the other vegetables out of the garden on the shelf. So there you have it, guys. That's how I do my refried beans. Like I say, you know, mess with the recipe a little bit, make it your own. Hope you like it. It does take a little bit of time. It's not really hard to do. It just takes time. So thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate all the comments. If you have any questions, feel free. And the end.